Yeah, what's up, what's up? This your player partner, Rappin TAY. You tuned in to 89.5 FM, the urban masterpiece, with Miss Lacey. Do your thing, baby. KZCT, Vallejo.
Old school Bobby Womack, you know. Mama. Sing it, Bobby, sing it, Bobby. Just thinking about this concrete jungle makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Out there looking for my runner. One of them, one of the zippers, and he's 2 days late. Never trust consumers, plus I'm hearing rumors that he's snitching. Think it over, I'll leave it alone.
What's up, folks? It's your girl, Miss Lacey, Iconic Chronicles magazine and ASCAP radio. What's happening?
What's going on with Lacey? I see you've been doing your thing, moving and grooving.
Oh, man, God is good. That I have been doing.
All the time, all the time. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. And, you know, you stayed with success. You've been on the road lately. You got a lot of new projects. You're a West Coast iconic pillar. So, where do you want to start, man?
Well, sure. First, I want to thank ASCAP Radio to the fullest extent, as well as my Uncle Charles and yourself for keeping these doors wide open for, you know, artists and up-and-coming artists and etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've been all over, bouncing around this world like a frog on a lily pad. I'm tired, but I ain't that tired.
You got over 13, 14 albums. How have you maintained in this rap business from it just being the rap game?
Well, basically learning what goes on from the inside out instead of being a spectator from the outside in. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm talking my way back. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite worldwide hits is Ain't No Player Like the One I Got. Another hit from the back. And guess who produced that?
Let's get.
Could it be Lacey?
Bless up, and shout out to Mr. Stan Keith as well.
Exactly, Stan the man, but yeah. But to answer your question, just basically, I get the game from the OGs. I do what a lot of these youngsters aren't doing, and I pray that they do it. You know, these OGs been on this planet a lot of years for a lot of good different reasons, and that's where the game comes from, the legends in the game. So, you know, what I do is I just soak up game like a sponge from them and going out there and do the best I can with the tools I got and keep God first. That's what it's all about.
You had to do some comebacks, but you hung in there.
Hung in there just learning from my experiences, you know what I mean? Sometimes experience is the best teacher. We don't know everything, but you know, I do more input than output. I learned to listen more, get a box of Q-tip squabs, and listen so you can learn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Switch your circle up sometimes, you know? There's a lot of people out there, you know, they're leading but not by example. They're just leading, they're running into brick walls and etc. And I pray for them too as well, because I made my mistakes through run-ins with the law and etc. But now, you know, I'm a better man. I'm working on a building, you know? The
game from then to now, the differences that you see.
The biggest difference that I see right now, Lacey, is the support systems. Back then, there were very few. There were more, shall I say, in-store autograph sessions at record stores, mom and pop record stores. There were entities like Soul Beat and The Box. We had the MTVs and the VH1s, but only for those artists who were signed to major labels. Now, the game has made a 360-degree turn, and it's like a microwave world. That's what I call it. You could just push a button and buy a song, a download. You have the internet now. You have World Star Hip Hop now, YouTube. It's like the game is very, very crowded. So we're very fortunate to have start back then.
Right.
Because now we have household names, and if you stay in the right lane, turning to legends as we are. This digital network, this social media, that's the biggest difference I see right now.
Right. And you know, you are a legend, therefore you're still getting booked, but a lot of artists coming up now, you know, they can't find a show, or they're paying to get in the shows. What's your advice on that?
My advice is on that is, hey, sometimes it costs to be the boss. Those are dues paid when way back in the day, we never had that. And the reason being is because the Confederates, they never thought that hip-hop and rap would last and go as far as it went. It's like Biggie Small said, I never thought that hip-hop would take it this far. You know what I mean? So now, hip-hop that's a good hustle. It's our culture, you know? It's that main ingredient in that gangsta gumbo now. Look on television, you see the Flintstones, Barney Rubble and rapping, Fruity Pebbles commercials with boogie rope chains on and etc. So I look at that like a sign. That's a blessing from God. Okay, here's a hustle for you, a legitimate hustle. Handle your business, put a little paint where it ain't. And that's all I've been doing basically. You know, this is how I pay my bills and feed my family. So I gotta cherish it. Cherish the love.
You're also part of a legacy that includes Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yes, most definitely. I miss Pac so much. I was like my brother from another mother. You know, we bent a lot of corners together, did a whole lot of shows and etc. You know, together. Whole lot, you know, had a lot of good times. And sometimes when it comes to dotting the I's and crossing the T's, that's the most important part of this game. And I want to put this message out to every artist, legends, up and coming artists. Dot your I's, cross your T's, read your fine prints, because that's what it's all about. A lot of these folks, they don't realize they're signing their lives away. Don't do that. Keep your independency. Keep it out for yourself, and make sure you get your publishing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pac taught me a lot about that. Know it or not, Pac taught me how to write music different, to make sure every word that I was rapping was at the end of every sheet of paper on every line is an easier way of doing it, you know what I mean? We talked about publishing together. We talked about loopholes in the game, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So you guys were visionaries, so it wasn't just, you know, where celebrities were going to get famous. You were young men coming up making plans for when you got older.
Exactly. You know, we had each other's back, and right now I think that's what the Bay's missing right now, because we don't have that look. We need to huddle up like the Raiders, huddle up like the 49ers. You know what I mean? Have a family reunion, because together we can conquer many, many, many entities. You know?
Right. Now you always kept it real smooth with the vocals, man. What's up with that? What led you to cultivate that type of flow?
That's who I am. That's my forte. You know, that's my style. You know what I'm saying? I'm a smooth type of individual. I choose not to be real loud and ruckus and, you know, so beastly and all that. You know what I mean? There's too many people out there trying to be like that. I'm trying to sound like Rappin' Forte.
You got any upcoming shows? Any things we can get out there and see and shake it up at?
Yes, I'm on a tour right now. I just got back from doing a nice show out there with WIZ Kalifah and Yellow Wolf.
All right.
Right. Just finished knocking them out in Maui as well.
We should be looking for a Forte WIZ Kalifah collabo.
Yeah, most definitely. That's my mission. You know what I mean? But to answer your question even more though, if you could have the listeners go to rappinforte@gmail.com. You know, for those artists who do need features, some ragu on their pasta, upgrade their album as well. Or you can go to rappinforte.wordpress.com, and my full-fledged schedule, as well as tours, dates, up-and-coming songs, movies, albums, collaborations, is all right there in fine print, like
Now, you know, another part of your success, man, has been soundtracks.
Soundtracks?
Yeah. Dangerous Minds.
Exactly, with Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, the list goes on. That's another category that I do want to conquer as well.
You brought up some of your favorite songs, and I want to thank you for the opportunity. You know, as a youngster, I came up, shout out to Lorraine Hanks, when I was out in South Vallejo. She had this boombox, right, and had an external mic, so I could rap and do my music and try to put together little projects. So I was always borrowing her stuff, and she said she knew you. So every time
I gotta give a big shout out to Lorraine Hanks and her mother Hester, and rest in peace to both her brothers, Mac Murray and Tone Tucker, because Tone Tucker is the individual that really, when I first moved to Hunters Point, that was my brother. I mean, wow. We done done so much, and I pray for him. He hears my prayers every night, and he's one of those ones that's looking down from heaven. To you, Lorraine, if you're listening to this interview.
For sure. Now, I always told her, I was like, you got to get this music to him. So for a while, I had already been practicing to get to you. And it just so happened we linked up that I did that track with Stan, and you liked it. And what an amazing opportunity and a career changer. As a teenager, going around with a hit on your hands, it's on the radio and every day. That's a lot.
That's a lot, and I cannot leave out Frankie J, because he believed in you. Frankie J, I gotta give a shout out to Frankie J over there with Ragtop Records. You know what I'm saying? Because what's old is what's new, and that's what really put us together. And I'm so proud of your technique. I'm so proud of your skills and your creation. And we must do it again. As a matter of fact, we are gonna do it again. You did a good job up there at Fairfax as well with those bongos and all that. That was big.
Thank you very much. And I learned a lot also, not just music-wise and recording-wise, but when you guys would come to the studio, you and Frankie always had a vision. You would say, this project, we're going for this sound and this demographic, and these are the moves we're going to make. And tell us a little bit about sticking to that program, because that's what made success. I remember hearing that, and I do apply those things today.
Yeah, it's very important to apply those things, because if you fail to plan, you seriously plan to fail. So that's what I do, is I line my ducks up in a row. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rap until the day I die. my point is, that's my love to all my loyal fans who's always been in there and believed in me. Bonus tracks as well coming. I have a cartoon coming, a comic book. I'm working on another movie right now with Julia Roberts' brother, Eric Roberts. Title of the movie is Don't Shoot. I'm the Guitar Man. It's a true story about a teacher who teaches music to people who are never coming home anymore, institutionalized for the rest of their lives. San Quentin prison. Not to mention cash flow. I must push that, and I'm gonna shoot you. You're gonna get the exclusive single to Cash Flow. That's me and my wife, Zuri the Queen. We just did a nice Bonnie and Clyde type of thing video on a whole nother level. It's called Cash Flow. I want the world to look for that, because it's coming soon.
Oh yeah, and I could definitely see you as a guitar man, because you're so smooth.
I appreciate that.
Hey, now you brought up something else, man. You talked about institutionalization.
Yeah, institutionalization. See, the experience is the best teacher, because I've been there. God has already been spanked me on my behind and sat me down so I can focus. You know what I'm saying? And give thanks to the blessings, to the craft, to the gift.
Now, would you say that that's well, we know it's an illness and a mark on our community. We know what the problem is. As my good friend Skylar Jett would say, how do we find the solution?
The best way we can find the solution is when we plant these seeds, we have to fertilize them when they grow. I'm talking about these children out here. A lot of them, you know what I'm saying, the streets are raising them. And it's not, a lot of them, it's not their fault. It takes a village.
Right.
And if we could start thinking about Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, our ancestors who got hung and went through rapes and etc., just so we could have freedom, just so we can be able to use a bathroom whenever we want to, show some homage. Instead of that being a boring conversation, it should be a well-heard conversation.
Do you think it's taken for granted, kind of like how kids just think a cell phone always existed?
Exactly. When we never had it, I remember not having a cell phone or a television. You know, I'm just, like I said before, I'm not putting myself on no high level, no ego trip or nothing like that. It's just experience is the best teacher. Educate.
For sure. You got any last words for us, Fo?
Last words I have is only God can judge me, only God can judge you.